Hi, my name is Stephanie Crabtree and I'm from Prepped and Polished Tutoring. Today we're going to talk about two extremely useful strategies for the ACT Science section. The science section is essentially a reading section with a lot of science information in it. It's often difficult for students to keep their information straight when they're going through the science section. Today we're going to learn two techniques for keeping your information straight and organizing your reading. This first technique we like to call the rainbow technique. I'll show you why in a second. So say we have two passages in this science section. One called Hypothesis 1 and one called Hypothesis 2. We're talking about monarch butterflies. One hypothesis says that they store lipids for migration and during the winter. And the second hypothesis says that they store lipids for migration but not during the winter. And later on you'll be asked questions about the differences between the hypotheses. So you're going to notice that the stored lipids for migration is the same on both hypotheses. But it's different about the winter time. So we're going to circle winter on this side, and we're going to circle but not winter on this side. And we're going to draw a line between them to focus us on the fact that this is the piece of information that is different between the two hypotheses. You'll notice that this is not terribly difficult to remember on its own, but when you start having multiple pieces of information per passage that are different or the same, it's difficult to remember which are which, and it's difficult to remember what the differences were. So here we have the clouds of the differences and the rainbow connecting what was different about them. This is a super simple technique, but you'll find that when you have a lot of information coming at you from a science passage, sometimes a full page of information, having a simple technique that you develop and practice, like this rainbow technique, helps your brain focus on what's important in the passage. So the rainbow technique is useful for noting differences, and it's also extremely useful for noting differences in text passages. But what are you going to do when you have a full page, or maybe even more than a full page, of tables that are summarized with different constants held for each table? Now, one note, if you're a fast worker, this is going to be one of your most useful techniques. I like to call it the variable chart. You have some room on your paper and you're going to draw a chart of everything that's held constant and that varies within each study. It only takes a few seconds. You can have a study of 1, 2, and 3 and say you vary something called L, V, the electric field direction, the electric field magnitude, and the location of a spot. So we have 2.5 centimeters that's held constant for this trial, study 1, and 1 kilovolt for V, and E, and this is my shorthand, for varies. This here is my shorthand for varies. You want to write as little as possible. Develop your own shorthand. And the location of the spot of light also varies. And then as a second trial, you'll see that when voltage goes up, the location of the spot goes down, and we don't know the electric field direction. In the same way, in study 3, when L goes up, the location of the spot goes down. We don't know the electric field direction, and V and electric field magnitude are held constant. What is the power of using a chart like this? We've found that when a lot of students are presented with many tables, especially broken out into 3 or 4 tables, it's difficult to keep track of what's held constant in which study. And a lot of the questions you're going to be asked are about what are the similarities and the differences between different studies. Having a chart like this that you only take a few seconds to write out helps focus your mind on what's the same and what's different, and even what's missing in the information that they give you. Many times it's important to synthesize what's missing and to draw conclusions from that information. Having both the rainbow technique and the variable chart with what you know written in it will help you focus on what's important in each science section, and it will increase your accuracy on each of the questions. Don't forget, you should practice, and you should also remember to adapt each of these strategies to what your method of working is going to be. If you liked our video, give us a thumbs up, and go ahead and check out preppedandpolished.com.